Here. Draymond stomp that like button. Let's go. Here. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Why does it feel like a Friday? It feels like a Tuesday. I mean, it's a Tuesday. It feels like a Friday. Right? Because there's so many gosh darn games. It could have been a max slate, but there's a couple games before the main slate, so yeah. What's up, guys? Hey, Yankees dropped a lineup. Volpe, Judgy, Rizzo, Glaber cleaned up with Stanton still down. I think he sent Donaldson to AAA for rehab. DJ, instead of leading off, a little bit of, hey, can you get some of these base runners in? Yep. Oswaldo, okay. We're going backwards. IKF, oh, God. Higgy and Aaron Hicks. So it's pretty top heavy, but what are you going to do, man? Lineup's missing Stanton, JD. No Franchi because it's a lefty. All right, it makes sense. All right, what are you going to do? What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. April 18th, 2023. Let's bring the music down a little bit. Hope you guys are doing all right today. Appreciate you guys that are already here, and those of you that will come. Kiefer in the chat, Dang Lazy Mofo, Michael Knack here, Jake in the chat, Jay Tuda Rome. Hope y'all doing all right. How'd y'all do last night? Last night we knew that it was a night for the offenses, but did you know it was a night for Rich Hill to be the number 2 scoring pitcher? Did you know that? Wow, 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts for Rich Hill in Coors Field. Oh yeah, and that was cool with me because I specifically made my core stacks not touch each other, meaning no Pirates and Rockies overlap, and that worked out great. Highest scoring pitcher, Hayden Wesneski, but it should absolutely be noted that my 2 highest owned pitchers, Corbin Burns and Jacob deGrom, well, they didn't last long. It wasn't because of anything other than injury. Jacob deGrom goes 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, just cruising for a bruising, 58 pitches. Then they take him out, and then lo and behold, later that night, Corbin Burns, the same thing. I had 65%, 70% deGrom, like 20% Burns, and then the rest of my, and this is for Fanduel, I think it was like 10% Kevin Gossman, and that was a disaster. Like, that did not go great. So I was hanging onto my offenses quite a bit, but that the not shuffling the deck between the Coors teams really worked out for me because it created less overlap. The Pirates side of that game was where you wanted to be. 14 runs for the Pirates, so it was a good night for me. I enjoyed it. Hopefully tonight is as fruitful, but it is trickier. A lot of the better pitchers on the slate have tougher perceived tougher matchups. It's not really perceived, it's just literally tougher matchups. So hope you guys did all right. What up, Caleb? It's me. It's DDP. Self high five. What up, Melinda? I knew DeGrom was going to pull an Anthony Davis now. What sucks, it doesn't, I mean, it sucks. DeGrom does that, right? But hopefully it'll be all right. You had to play. It was the right play. Yeah, what up, KJ? Hope you're doing all right. Let's look at some weather. Get a scope of this slate. Mr. Roth, rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB. Link to that. You should always have that bookmark. Doubleheader with Detroit, cool. Yankee game, cool temps, winds out to center, 10 to 15 miles an hour, cool. Minnesota, the Twins at Boston, cool, winds out to right center, 10 miles, same thing. Texas at KC, looks like just really normal stuff. Some sprinkles in St. Louis, sprinkles are for winners. Coors, temps around 70 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing out the left, Coors being Coors, blah, 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 cool. And then Chicago and Oakland. So something to watch with Oakland is even in that spacious pitcher's park, they are getting smacked acted by. They're just bad. Their pitching is bad. Their bullpen is bad, and maybe for a little bit longer, people will continue to maybe stay away from that stadium, especially on slates with like Coors. And we've already seen them drop, drop a couple touchdowns. We saw the Mets drop like 20 the other night. We saw the Cubs do it last night, and the Cubs are like the Mendoza line of, hey, if the Cubs can do it, let's just start looking at the Athletics to beat up on, right? So let's keep that in mind going forward. They're not a team that's got any sense of urgency to improve the situation, so we might just be able to pick on them for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I know. What up, RC? Hope you're doing all right. Either K's, 12s, or leaves in the early. Sometimes he does both. That's the same. A lot of money wrapped up into him, so. Yeah, we got a lot of games, so I can't really waste too much time here. But as you guys come in, hit that like button. Double check a couple of lineups. We'll go game by game here, kind of see what we like. It hyper focused on pitching. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this VOD, whatever, I like to go game by game, and I focus on the pitchers. And when you research a pitcher, it'll kind of tell you whether or not you want to be in that game for offense or not. So I don't really do a lot of hitter research on air. Like, we can if you guys have requests for specific guys. But the hitter stuff is way more easy. I don't know. That's stupid. Orioles at the Nats, though. We do have an Orioles lineup. Cedric Mullins, Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, Anthony Santander, Adam Frazier. I hate Austin. Austin Hayes, Gunnar Henderson, Jorge Mateo, and Ryan O'Hearn, former Royal great, in the 9 spot. By the way, if music is misleveled, let me know too, right? You guys are pretty good about that. Yeah. Word to the wise, weed gets you through times of no money. Way better than money gets you times of no weed. That's deep. What up, Travis? Hope you're doing all right. I haven't done the weed. One day. One day. I got this wire for my headset, and I don't know where to put it. Okay. But it's just like here. All right. There we go. All right, Dean Creamer taking on Josiah Gray. So we know about Josiah Gray. Got a little strikeout potential, but when he's not striking you out, you're probably going to hit a homer. It's like a two true outcome pitcher. Let's pull up Fangraphs here. We don't have to spend too much time on every game. Let's just look at some of his metrics from the last couple of outings. We've seen him blow up. It's the same story as last year. He's not quite Hunter Green, because Hunter Green, I think, has a little bit more upside. But a similar situation where he's got the stuff. He's got the ability to miss some bats. But he also has the ability to not miss some bats. And when he's not missing some bats, ball go boom. Ideally, you'll have both. Why not both? Was Jake in Discord? Porque no los dos. 5.8% swing and strike rate against the Angels the other day. On the season, 11.3% swing and strike rate, 54% first pitch strike. Batted ball data, 5.78 xFIP, 4.74 on the season. Hard contact rate is actually surprisingly low. Ground ball rate's kind of high. That's good. Hard hit, blah, 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 blah. What am I looking for here? Oh, Statcast. Barrels. He's got almost a 10% barrel rate. So last year, the barrel rate was a little over 10%. So kind of the same song and dance. It looks like his ground ball rate is trending in the right direction, though. So maybe it's going to be able to turn around sooner or later. It's got a 1.4 ground ball to fly ball ratio, but a 50% ground ball rate on the season. And last year's ground ball rate to lefties was 22%. Ground ball rate to righties was 40%. Maybe we split that up here. Maybe we are finding something that puts Josiah Gray closer to figuring it all out, right? Because I was watching a Nats game not too long ago. I think it was against the Angels, and it was basically, this is straight up rebuild. Let Patrick Corbin go out there and do whatever he's going to do every 5 days. But a guy like Josiah Gray, like Mackenzie Gore, those guys, those are going to be your linchpins in a couple years. So develop them. And it does look like, I mean, there's 3 homers against a really good Braves team, and that could happen. Held his own in cores, 100 pitches last 2 games. Angels and cores. And I got a lot of respect for the Orioles, but I am looking for a couple contrarian pitchers. So I do wonder if I might get to like 5% Josiah here. I'm gonna go look at splits and batted ball data to lefties so far. We got 6 innings against lefties. So against lefties so far, a 47.1% ground ball rate. I wonder if he's doing anything different, or he's finding some more spin, or he's decided to work with a few pitches less, because that is a significant boost in his ground ball rate. So let's go to pitch type. So far, fastball, slider, cutter, curveball. He's using that curveball quite a bit, 25% slider as well. It's a little bit more off speed. Last year, we saw more fastball, slider, curveball. Didn't have a cutter last year. So is that how Josiah Gray evolves? And that could just be Fangraphs, because Fangraphs is kind of lazy when it comes to pitch classification. Yeah, he threw 1 cutter last year, right? So cutter this year, 875 expected slug. That's not good. Good whiff numbers ish on the slider. Decent overall. I think that cutter, I thought I was about to get excited, but no. That's like his worst pitch and his new. All right, so at least we're seeing some effort in development. So I might put him in my back pocket. I believe him out of the front end player pool for now, but when I start spitting out 150, I might be interested. Perhaps undervalued. I don't know how long how long of a leash the field will give him to shake off his reputation. Let me go see what the run total for the Orioles is 5. Nats at 4.3. That's probably appropriate. Orioles is just a team I will always stack, although I'm starting to have a little bit more respect in Gray, but he's got to earn it. Hasn't been there long enough. So Orioles going to be thrown onto the stack list. I do like the Orioles as a team stack because a great combination of hit for average, hit for power, and some stolen base potential. That's just a very well-rounded stack that gives you a high floor, high ceiling. Bomb detector likes Cedric Mullins, Adley, the lefties, Santander. And then on the Nats side against Dean Creamer. Creamer last year 4.46 expected ERA, $1.25 on the whip. Nothing to see here. And unlikely to be a pitcher that I'm interested in pitching today. Do a little bit of due diligence, kind of see if he's done anything different in his first couple games this year to change my mind. I think I find teams like the Nats, we always have these teams that are not good, but they're a little bit scrappier than the field gives them credit for. I think the Nats might be a little bit more scrappy against lefties, but still a contact pitcher versus not like 28% K rate guys. I don't think this is the spot where I want to get cute. 9% swing and strike rate overall, sub 10% or sub 8 or less in the last 2 games. Oakland and the Yankees, and we know the Yankees have certainly allowed some strikeout potential. Ridiculous xFIP. We don't want none of that. Statcat, he's given up 7 barrels, a 16.3% barrel rate with 20 hard hit balls. This is not good. This dog will not hunt. So maybe that nominates the Nats for like a sub stack. I never really want to get 4 or 5 deep in this lineup. But against Creamer, maybe, I don't know. Are these barrels against the Yankees? Let's see, no. 3 barrels against Oakland. That's a problem. Yeah, so he is getting touched. And cross-referencing barrel rates on the Nats side. Obviously, Joey Meneses is one of the guys. Jamer Candelario, maybe sneaky with the pop. So yeah, maybe I nominate Nats for like a sub stack. I'd probably be more into like a 3-man Nats stack than want to sell out for the full 5. But I guess I wouldn't fault you if you did. I got a little bit more respect for maybe the O's pen. They got a couple guys back there that can chop a couple innings off the game if it's competitive. I think Felix Bautista, keep an eye on him. Is he available today? Orioles. Yeah, he should be because this was a full-on off day. So Felix Bautista might be available. He's looking really sharp. The main guy I'd be worried about, so I wouldn't overthink it. So we'll sub-stack Nats. I'll full-stack O's. I'm not super interested in either pitching options, but Josiah Gray is on that cusp of I'm gonna pay attention to him because if he makes some changes, I do think he has the pedigree to be a strikeout guy. And at 6,500, if you're looking at this slate with a broad scope, right? And you see Spencer Strider, upside, tougher matchup, sure. Kershaw, upside, tougher matchup. Monty, tougher matchup in terms of strikeouts with a little bit of rain. So it's not like it's a guarantee for this to be that double barrel 30 DKP and both slots slate. So if you decide to go ahead and offer up a punt SP2, I think there's a shot that a guy like Josiah Gray at old course pricing, 6,500, if he gives you home run points, I think he could play a role. I just don't love this matchup, and I'm a sucker for the Cinderella Orioles. So, but I think you could justify it. If not now, coming soon. Keep an eye on him. I think he's gonna have some tournament winning starts if he continues to progress on a couple things that we've looked at. But I don't think it's all together yet. Let's get caught up in chat. What up, Dylan? Mr. Lyles here. All right, so I saw somebody victory lap Jordan Lyles yesterday on I think somebody DM'd me on Discord. It's like, I don't remember, but I called it. He has a 30% carry rate to lefties and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? He struck out 2 lefties. The other guy struck out. First of all, he only had 3 strikeouts in, whatever, 8 innings. Like, I'm glad that it worked out for you. He did. But if it kind of worked out because of injuries, because DeGrom was on his way to murdering the slate. But good results, I guess. I'm not that sold on Jordan Lyles. And the people that were on him, not you specifically, Dylan, but people that were like justifying the play, the results didn't match up with why they were there. I think they got a little bit lucky, especially considering that his xFIP was dog water, right? I think that was, like, they didn't even put a number. It was like, it just said dog water. I don't know what that means. Was it? It might have been you, Dylan. No. Somebody on Discord hit me up and was like, I didn't say it, but look, I was here because of this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, So he had a 3.2% swinging strike rate in that game yesterday. 3.2%. This is what people are victory lapping. Not you, Dylan, but kind of you, but not you. I love you. 6.68 xFIP. 6.83 Sierra. 52% hard contact rate. Miss me with that. Love you, though. All right, Caleb, what we got? All right, Gun, let me ask you this. Would you rather have to sing along to every song you ever hear, commercials, jingles, radio songs, regardless of setting, or dance to every song you ever hear? Sing. Easily. I can multitask when I sing. I mean, I'll be playing video games. I'm sailing away, but you can't multitask if you're dancing. It has to be singing. It's without a doubt. That's too easy. DeGrom and Burns left the games. Yeah, it was. What are you gonna do? It happens. For both of them to leave, that was such a troll job. I was sitting in first place halfway through. I had like a 20-point lead on first place in a couple of tournaments. And then it was a DeGrom lineup, obviously. And it was like our Astros stack with McCutchen one-off. And then McCutchen homered right away. But it had DeGrom. I was like, yeah, well, this is going to hurt. DeGrom's not going to last long. Or DeGrom in first place is not going to last long. It kind of did. Actually, I think DeGrom might have got there. But Wisniewski was the guy. Had him on DK. Didn't really offer too much of him on Fanduel. Nets. All right, next game on the docket. Angels, Yankees. Lineups are out. Taylor Ward, Shohei Ohtani, Michael, Nelson, Trout, Anthony Rendon, Hunter Renfroe, Oof, this is nasty. Gio Urshela, former Yankee great hitter of grand slams. Zach Nato, Logan O'Hoppe. Yankees throwing out Volpe, Judgy, Rizzo, Galeba, DJ, Oswaldo, IKF, Higashioka. And Clark Schmidt on the bump. This is going to be a tough one to win, right? So, Jose Suarez last year, $1.25 on the whip, 11.7% swinging strike rate. Yankees are throwing one lefty today, and that's Rizzo, and he can hit lefties. So I'm not too concerned about the mismatch in the lineup. Obviously, you would love Donaldson or Giancarlo. A little bit of scary in the middle lineup. It drops off a cliff down here. Is it enough to want to play Jose Suarez? I don't think I'll get there, but let's go look at his metrics here. Of course, Nats come out right when I'm done with that game, right? As an avid dancer, you can't multitask while dancing. Yeah, man, you can't. You just can't. You can sing and not even know you're singing, right? You can't dance and not know you're dancing. I mean, I guess you can wiggle in your chair, but that's not the same. Crust on Super Draft, second to Moonshot have both. Yeah, the ownership on them, and then like relative or comparative to the rest of the people. Remember that course pricing was so broken that it didn't matter. You were still able to pink yesterday, and that's the beauty of baseball. If LeBron James gets you 20, you're not likely to bink on a big slate. Baseball, you can overcome it. I think the ownership helped, and I think the lack of other people going off helped. 10.1% swinging strike rate so far for Mr. Suarez. 4.91 xFIP last game. 6.25 on the xFIP against the aforementioned Nationals. StatCast has given us 8% barrel rate, no barrels against those Nats, and a 40% hard hit ball so far. Seattle, Washington. So I'm not front end interested in Suarez. I guess we can look at his 92, yikes. Slider 83 and a changeup. Fastball, slider, changeup. Nothing that's going to just blow by you. So it could be a long day for Mr. Suarez. Man, it's kind of crazy that they sent Ohtani out there yesterday and just kind of wasted a start, right? Best fastball, slider, changeup combo. Judgy. That's kind of it. Oswaldo hits the slider and changeup well. Alright, goes without saying, we got to stack the Yankees. And I'm going to type the Angels here because I already know we're going to pick on Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt, man, there's a couple pitchers that have been hyped up as they come up in our farm system. Clark Schmidt a couple years ago was looking like second coming of Garrett Cole. And then we saw, even before that, heck, last year, Luis Gil, who I thought was like, he's basically this year's Brito, where he got a little bit lucky and maybe it was a little bit overvalued. But I think he has a little bit more strikeout upside. And then, like, a couple years ago, man, who was it? I think he got traded for, was it Encarnacion? Who's the lefty we traded for Encarnacion? Yankees. No, it wasn't for E5. Maybe it's. Anyway, we had another lefty that was like getting super hyped up in AAA, almost untouched. Sheffield, Justice Sheffield. And he ended up flopping. I don't know. It's like these people get to the brink and then they just fall off. And Clark Schmidt kind of reminds me of that. 9.9% swinging strike rate so far this season. If you look past that first series where the Giants were just striking out at everything, 8.3 and a 5.3%, or excuse me, 5.6% swinging strike rate. Batted ball data is heavily against them. 5.2 overall xFIP, and extremely inflated if we go back to those last two games. And then Yeah, so I think he's very gettable. I think it does help. We had a day off and a 9-inning game from Garrett Cole on Domingo. So I guess this game, you could hit the panic button pretty quickly if Clark Schmidt didn't last but a few innings. Kingy, Wandy, yeah, the whole bullpen is reset, so it could go any which way. I'm not playing Clark Schmidt, so stacking Angels, stacking Yankees, and that's all I got to say about that. Bomb Detector likes Ohtani. Clark Schmidt last year, a 1.21 home run per 9 to lefties with a 27% line drive rate. Overall, almost a 10% barrel rate. We'll look at his splits so far this season against lefties. What up, Thomas? What up, Andrew? Possible O versus Nats game stack? Yeah, for sure. Sonny Gray. Yeah, we'll probably have to play Sonny. There's a couple of guys that do have true strikeout potential, just who they are. Sonny Gray is one of them. Even though like the park, like Fenway's not like a park that I'm in love with. This season, he's given up 2 bombs to lefties in 6 innings, so he's picking up where he left off. And the batted ball data is giving us 43.5% fly ball rate, a 46% pull rate, 37% hard contact rate. Yeah, this is not good. And you're going to get 2-hole Ohtani, so Ohtani's almost maxed at bats in Yankee Stadium. I mean, that's just bad news bears, bro. With Mike Trout as his protection, so that's looking rough. 4.2 is probably going to be one of the day's highest bomb detector rating with dueling. I guess Clark Schmidt doesn't have a ton of sample, but with sample, no, it's a little bit busted because of short sample size pitchers. So let's just 9 innings or less. 4.2 is good for 4th in the bomb detector with Muncy, Wisdom, and Outman above him. So that's interesting. Let's go back to letting everybody in. All right. Ohtani's going to homer, unfortunately. Let's just get it out the way. He's going to homer. It sucks. It is what it is. What up, Sinjin? All right, let's move on to the next game. We got Twins and the Red Sox. No Red Sox lineup. We got Chris Sale taking on Sonny Gray. We got the Twins with a 4.4 implied run total. Red Sox 4.4. By the way, Yankees have a 5-run total. The Angels have a 4.2. Dude, what is this PrizePicks? Angels. Ohtani's at 8.5. Yeah, unfortunately he's gonna obliterate that. Clark, does he have a nerfy? You get Schmidt and Sale first inning, half a run. Huh. Interesting. This might be a fun night for PrizePicks. Alright. Where's my screen at? There it is. Sonny Gray and Chris Sale. So run totals were 4.4 for the Twins, 4.4 for the Red Sox. Pretty even. Looks like both guys sitting or both teams around minus 109. Sonny Gray's off to an incredible start. He had that incredible game against the Houston Astros. I think he had like 12 strikeouts. Astros allowed a couple of outlier-esque games when it comes to upside. Yesterday was not one of them. But Sonny Gray, we've known, has always had the ability to get some strikeouts. Anytime he's not in a Yankee uniform, he's incredible. I'm happy for him. I'm not salty. 11.5% swinging strike rate this season, 60% first pitch strike. You would probably want that to be a little bit higher, but that's Sonny Gray baseball right there. And a 4.19 xFIP with that Astro game being, just an incredible pristine sub 2 xFIP. 2 barrels on the season. 38% hard hit rate. That's about normal. And then since the beginning of last year, has seen about a 1-4 K rate. He's facing a Red Sox team that are better offensively than they are pitching wise. So not a fun, warm and fuzzy spot, but just based on potential strikeout upside at 8,600, there's certainly a path for him to go out there and net you 60, 20 plus. I do still want to maybe pick on him a little bit. I do like Fenway Park. I do like this offense. And looking at this lineup, I guess the bottom kind of falls off a little bit, but I'm still 1 through 3. So at the very least, a sub stack I'm interested in. But I'd probably go ahead and unload a full stack if I wanted to. So that's probably a scumdacker spot where we're getting both sides. What kind of ownership are we thinking on Sonny Gray? Just guessing what's on the field. I'm gonna say 12%. Just a guess. I can't really see more than that. Probably between 8 and 12%. Because that's the numbers in my head that I was thinking to set him at. He is untouched. Now that's just too low. How is he a 1/6 of Clark Smith? So, all right. I'm going to get to him a little bit. Fanduel, I'm not that enamored with, but I guess he still has the ability to go deep enough, scoop and score a quality start. I would have more than 1%. So I'm interested. Chris Sale. Chris Sale has had a rough go of it. In his rough go, there are some glimmers of hope. Like, he's still missing bats. He's still getting strikeouts. He's just kind of getting shelled at the same time. 4 innings pitched against Tampa, 6 strikeouts. 5 innings against Detroit, 7 strikeouts. 3 innings against Baltimore, 6 strikeouts. It's just the earned run column, the homer column, and the walk column. So he's all over the place. Reminds me of old school Francisco Liriano. But you're still seeing glimmers of hope for him to maybe find. Because usually when old pitchers start sucking, the strikeouts are correlated with their diminished returns. Well, we're still seeing strikeout potential. We're still seeing double-digit swinging strike rate out of Chris Sale. So I still want to be early if he's going to come back and be there before the rest of the field. Sub 4 xFIP we can work with. And then the StatCast is not on his side when it comes to hard hit. A 50% hard hit rate is not what you want. And then a 13.5% barrel rate, not what you want. So let's go to StatCast here. Maybe it could tell us what's getting him in the Jimmy Jam. It might just be the fact that he's getting behind in counts. Let me go back and see what his first pitch strike is. 62. That's not bad. I mean, I guess the Baltimore game, the Rays game, he was getting ahead in, and that was his most recent. So at least that's a good sign, I guess. I don't know. Go back to Baseball Savant here. Look at his individual pitches. Could you play Dusty Jake Lamb in an Angel stack? Yeah, in Yankee Stadium, you can get away with a lot, especially the lefties in that short porch if they can pull one. And Clark Schmidt certainly has not shown a great ability to get out lefties so far. So looks like the 4-seam fastball is his problem, and that's a problem for your number 1 to be your number 4. Still missing some bats there. 670 expected WOBA. Wow. $7,500. And I do like this version of the Twins lineup against righties. It is Fenway Park. Is Sale still coming with some ownership? 20%? Really? Really? Are we buying that? You're telling me the field gave up on Corbin Burns after two bad starts? They're like, why can't I quit you on Chris Sale? I was hoping he would be like unowned and that I could be there because everyone giving up on him. But at that ownership, is there a 20% probability that Chris Sale is optimal? I don't like that ownership. And I do like this Twins team against lefties. Donnie Barrows, Correa, Buxton, Garlick. Alright, I like those guys. Hey, Jose Miranda. I shouldn't leave him out. Kind of cheap outside of Buxton, too. Christian Vasquez, revenge game. Michael A. Taylor is apparently a power hitter now. Yeah, I'm certainly going to get to some twin stacks at that ownership. So, I guess inversely, if Chris Sale is drawing 20% ownership, that means the Twins can't be that owned offensively, right? They're all sub 10%. In Fenway, with Sale's ability to implode, yeah, I'm there. I'm in. Sign me up. Let's do this. Aim for the bushes. Twins, let's ride. And Twins! Sale might be interesting. O's and Rays have some solid bats. Twins aren't either of those teams. I think the Twins are better than, I guess, 90 WRC plus. Let me I don't know. I don't want to overreact too much to 3-4 games or 4 series. I feel like the Twins are better. I don't know. Let's look at WRC plus since the beginning of last year. We got Donnie, Correa, Buxton all above average WRC plus. Miranda's above. The rest of the lineup, meh. So, like, maybe I'm over-respecting them. And maybe I just want them to not suck against lefties. But also, let's see. Let's split this up versus lefties so far. Strike the schedule certainly matters. All right, this season WRC plus as a team. I kept trying to think off the top of my head what lefties Minnesota has faced. Like Nestor Cortez, I know because we just, but I don't know past that. They have 96 plate appearances. That might be second fewest in baseball against lefties. It is second fewest. The Yankees are bottom, so today might juice that up a little bit for both teams, I guess. 5% walk rate against lefties so far, 28%. K rate. What's the ISO? 184 ISO. BABIP is at 263, a little on the low end, whatever. And then that's 8 below league average in WRC plus. So, maybe. I don't think there's enough sample to truly stand on that one or the other. But 1 through 5 would be what I'm super interested in, and I might leave in Vasquez just to fill out a catcher spot that correlates with the stack. So, I'm absolutely. I want to be on both ends. I do think 20% Chris Sale feels a little bit ambitious, but. Especially, like, even if Chris Sale is, like, I don't know. It's, like, it's not a ton of strikeouts. It's, Buxton has a 30% K rate to lefties, Garlick, and Taylor. And 2 of those guys I'm worried about. And Taylor is starting to earn a little credit last week or 2. But, I think 20% is pushing me away from Chris Sale. I don't know. I have to sit on that. I have to simmer on that. And then Sonny Gray at 0.5% is too low. Red Sox, and we're just stacking Fenway. So probably do get to some Red Sox, but they'll be a little bit lower on the totem pole for me. I absolutely want to sub-stack them. I might have to make two columns. Teams that I want to full stack and the teams I want to sub-stack. Maybe that, hopefully that wouldn't be too confusing to the Vipers. Sherman looking juicy for sure. Should be live for complete game against the A's. Yeah, A's suck. Let's move on to the Rangers and the Royals. We got the Royals lineup still sitting on the Rangers. Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez, Salvi batting third. Vinny Pasquantino, Franmil Reyes, Michael Massey, Edward Olivares, Kyle Isbell, Nicky Lopez. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Wait, what? What am I doing? Franmil Reyes. There we go. Nate and Brad. Eovaldi. 4.8 run total for the Rangers, 4.4 for the Royals. So both sub 5 out there in Kaufman. Luckily, the Rangers don't have to face Cy Lyles. So that's good. Now, this season for Nate Dogg, 13.3% swing and strike rate. Last outing hit a 19.6% swing and strike rate against the Royals. What was our pitch counts? For former Yankee great, 91, 89. So around 90, and then maybe since they had to tag in the bullpen a little bit earlier yesterday, that leash is long. Had a 92 ground ball to fly ball ratio and gave up 6 earned runs on 10 hits. What happened there? Batted ball data. 1 point. He had a. What? Guys, let's now. Okay. Wow. So you're telling me this is baseball. If you guys are new to baseball, check out this. This is where results don't matter, right? You open up Eovaldi, you see 7.3 fantasy points. And then you look at the advanced metrics. A 19.6% swing and strike rate with a 1.48 xFIP. If I didn't know the result, I'd be like, wow. And he threw 90 pitches? Man, Eovaldi must have dropped 30. Instead, he had a 529 BABIP. That's crazy. That's extremely unlucky. That'd be one of the most unlucky games I've seen just based on those 4 numbers. 50% hard hit rate. So the hard hit rate has been 50% all year. That's not what you want. You definitely want that to come down, but that's not 50% is high no matter what. But you're gonna see high hard hit rates for power pitchers because they're gonna see a lot more power swings. What was it? Let's see. Last year, his hard contact rate to actually it's way higher. He was at 26%. Or no, excuse me, 38% last year to lefties, 38% to righties. So yeah, we're at 12% higher than what it should be. But maybe we expect it to come down. Okay, the other thing I'm gonna look at with Eovaldi is he's a power pitcher. So I'm gonna see how much power he's actually got. 95.7%. Or excuse me, 95.7 miles per hour average velocity on his fastball, 91 on the cutter, 76 on the curveball. Was he sitting at 95-ish last year? 95. So right where he was last year. I'm gonna just put this out there. In Kaufman, with those numbers, I'm playing Eovaldi, dude. I am playing Nathan Eovaldi. That's one of the most unlucky things. And if it fails, it fails, sure. But that's the type of stuff I like to take advantage. That's why we look at advanced metrics to kind of predict good and bad games throughout through the results. Where's Eovaldi's ownership at? 7%. I can do that. 10, 15%, 20%. I'm in. I can't spell today. I need a new keyboard. It's the keyboard, not me. All right. What up, Helms? Hope you're doing all right. Hit a 9-leg parlay Sunday. God dang. The Lele's. Bro, I think I tweeted it like a long time ago. I was playing a game of Fortnite, and my teammate was just some random kid. And he was like, "What do you do for a living?" And I was like, I'm into gambling." Or I was like a gambling sports analyst. I don't know, some term that I didn't want to have to explain it, but he could understand the gist of it. And I was like, I analyze basketball games to find out my favorite bets. And he's like, "Are you the reason I lose my Lele's?" And I was like, "What?" what did he say? And Lele was like kid slang for parlay. So there's like underground kids running parlays, man. Our future's bright. Love it. Brad Keller against the Rangers. You did your thing, dog, but that's going to be a no for me. Yesterday, Adolis Garcia wasn't in the lineup, right? So maybe he's back. 4.37 expected RA last year for Brad Keller. 1.5 on the whip. 16% K rate last year. Has he picked up where he left off this season? Brad Keller might be in play. You think so? Okay, Jordan Lyles gets away with 8 innings one time. And now you guys are just crazy. .8% swinging strike rate on the season. What did he do against Texas last week? Let's see if he was as lucky or unlucky as Mr. Eovaldi. 28. Oh my god. Oh my god. 3.5. Alright, the XFIP wasn't terrible. BABIP was 133. Eovaldi has like a 560 BABIP, and Brad Keller's 133. Eovaldi just must have been in the dugout watching Royals just snag hard hit flares. Like, oh, come on! Meanwhile, he's getting soft rollers. Oh my gosh. 50. Let's see. In that game, 37% ground ball rate. Overall, 53% ground ball rate. That's what we know from Brad Keller, right? He could be a ground ball guy. So, not really an upside surrenderer. If that makes sense, especially in a park like this. So, not necessarily the guy I ever want to pick on. If we did want to go after him, maybe the lefties, $1.25 on the homer per nine last year. But there's no power lefties. You mentioned no Corey Seager. Bomb detector's highest is Semien. That's the righty. So, yeah, I'm not that enthralled with the Rangers overall. Inversely, like, I don't want to play Brad Keller. Expecting regression. He just doesn't miss bats. And the same with Jordan. Like, Lyles only had 3 strikeouts yesterday, right? Like, if he gives up 4 runs on a couple hits and a double, you know what I mean? He can't really erase that with strikeouts. So, I that might be just a wash situation. And if a couple Rangers one-offs float here and there. Like, I did like Jankowski batting second, especially a guy that allows so many ground balls. Jankowski's fast enough. Maybe run one out, steal a bag, something like that. So if that happens again today, like, sure, he could fall in my lineup as a one-off, but I don't know. Keller's just like, he sucks, but he doesn't suck enough home run-wise to pay off a 11-game baseball slate, more than likely, right? DK, yeah, the logs are on his side. I try to not be results-oriented in baseball when the advanced metrics are a little bit more... But I mean, if you don't think he gets shelled, like, I really wouldn't expect 7 strikeouts ever. How did he have 7 strikeouts with an 8? Dude, the spectrum of luck versus unluck between Eovaldi and Keller is kind of crazy. I don't know if they were like a bunch of backwards Ks or what, but Royals have better hitters than I don't think that's a wrong statement, but I mean, good pitchers are good pitchers. I'll take good pitchers over bad pitchers. Just like I always say, bad pitching or bad hitting beats bad pitching. Sometimes good pitching beats good hitting, or at least good hitting beats bad. Good pitching beats bad hitting. I was looking for. Is there play-by-play? I don't want to spend too much time on this because we gotta knock out some of these other games. But I was hoping, like, I don't know. I was gonna see if he had a lot of like strikeouts looking, because that doesn't add up. But we gotta keep it moving. Could Keller be a possible SP2? Full disclosure, he won't be in my pool, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to disagree with me, y'all. I'm wrong a lot. If you have that feeling in your bad knee with the storm coming in, that hey man, if this is the lineup, there's a 1-4 K rate plus essentially aggregate for 3 through 9, and they suck at hitting. They suck at hitting for power. If you say, I mean, he can steal some strikeouts at 6,600, I wouldn't push back. I get it. I see it. I understand it. But Brett Keller just doesn't have the profile of a pitcher I like to play. I like to attack pitchers that are actually like in their pedigree to be strikeout guys. But it's certainly not impossible in this park with this lineup for him to come through at 6,600. So I'm not gonna have him. If you're wondering if I'm playing him, he won't be in my pitching player pool. But I get it. I'd be more likely to play Brad Keller today than I was to play Jordan Lyles last night, because Jordan Lyles is a guy that gives up power, right? Brad Keller, not so much. Keller's new curve, bro. It's a real thing. Is it? Well, his swing and strike rate's not like drastically improved though. He had a 9.8% swing and strike rate last year. He's been sitting about 9% the last 3 years, right? And then he's about a 9.8. So like this overall swing and strike rate is not that different. It's like basically his career average ish. But let's go look at the curve specifically. And then let's go look at pitch type. So this year 25% usage on the curveball, and then pitch value. His curveball has a 2.46 pitch value. His slider actually has a higher value so far, but it's a very short sample. Didn't have the curve last year. All his pitches were negative, so maybe it's a different look pitch, and it is. So it have 2+ pitches so far in terms of run value. Now I will say that the run value on the on this right here, this isn't predictive. This is results based. So this is how it's played. The slider and the curveball and changeup have all been extremely plus for him. So maybe there's something there. I'll look at Savant, because Savant is predictive in those pitches, and we'll put it together. I mean, I'm willing to change my mind. Curveball has a 37% whiff rate. That's really good. Expected WOBA 242, 264 in expected slugging. Yeah, curveball looks pretty good. Chat, you're right. You're absolutely right. And then, so the sweeper and the slider. The sweeper is like the new thing this year. And a lot of times people's sliders are registering as sweepers and vice versa. It's kind of crazy that they have a slider and a sweeper, but the sweeper that he's thrown 18 times, 548 expected slug, but the slider's at a 153. So I wonder if that's the same pitch and it just registered split or what. But you're right about the curveball. That's a good point. Justin Sports. Look at the pitch report for the Rangers against the curveball last year. Only Josh Young. Should I play some Brad Keller in unison, in solidarity, chat? I might. I'll think about it. I might. So anyone who left 10 minutes ago and then turns around and sees me with some Brad Keller tonight can call me a phony. You're a phony. not saying he's an ace. I'm saying he's throwing against a man lineup. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm not pushing back. All in? Okay. Maybe. Maybe. What's up with the walks, chat? I think I'll do it. I'll do it on DK. Maybe not on Fanduel. Although it's weird because Brad Keller was the guy that I would usually, if I got there, would be on Fanduel because he was more likely to eat 6 innings. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna put him at the very bottom, just for you, chat. So if you get shelled tonight, I'm gonna come back and yell at you guys. I mean, just straight up chastise you, but not like in an abusive way, in a passive aggressive way. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed because I thought you were better than that. But apparently I've raised a bunch of D-backs and the Cardinals next game on the docket. Do we have lineups here? Yeah, we do. We got Cardinals, Brandon Donovan, Alec Burleson, Goldie Wilson Contreras. Nolan Gorman, Lars Nootbaar, Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, Tommy Edman. All right, cool. Implied run total for the D-backs, 3.6. Cardinals, 4.6. Monty, Gumby, Jordan Montgomery on the bump for the Cods. Dre Jameson for the D-backs. Remember, Mr. Roth said this could have some drizzle in the middle of the game, but he didn't put it at a risk for delay or postponement. So I guess we're good. Dre Jameson last year, 24 innings of sample size, 4.5 expected ERA. I believe we got a couple of games out of him so far this season, maybe at least one. No, we got 4. Wow. 1.46 ERA. So the results have been on his side. Let's go see what we're working with. Which pitcher's exiting early with an injury tonight? Man, I don't know. Oh, you thought injuries was just for NBA? Oh no. Dre Jameson with a 15.2% swinging strike rate. The first pitch strike is dog water. Only in the Milwaukee game has he had over 50%. So the swinging strike rate's good, but he's not getting ahead in counts. Is that translating into a walk rate that you don't want? 3.65 walk per 9. It kind of is. 1.5-ish home run per 9. Batted ball data, 4.27 xFIP. So outside of that last game, it was all 5 pluses. And then 9.7% barrel rate, 48% hard hit rate. So there is some hope for strikeouts. And we have seen the Vincent Velasquez's of the world go into St. Louis and walk away with some strikeouts. But he does have enough to be worried about. So I think that's the ultimate tournament spot. Because I personally don't like to pick on the Cardinals. But if you want to take Arenado out the lineup, you want to look at swinging strike rate, the pitcher's park, all that good stuff. There's some check marks there if you are feeling a little bit frisky. How is this split? So it looks like the Cardinals are going pretty lefty here. Last year, 29% K rate to lefties in minimal innings. 170 average, under a 0.7% home run per 9 with a elevated hard contact rate. So we'll see if he picked up where he left off in the majors. In small sample, he has 5.2 innings against lefties so far, just 3 strikeouts, so less than a strikeout per 1 bomb. And then we'll look at quality of contact. And then, if you guys don't mind, maybe I'll look at his minor league profile to see if he's trending in the right or wrong direction based on his minor league campaign. Hard contact still elevated. God bless me. Hard and the ground ball rates there. So let's see what we're working with in the minors. When somebody sneezes, I say God bless you. Because I'm not the Lord. Anybody know where that joke came from? That is a bit from Dane Cook. What was funny is I was scrolling through TikTok this morning, and a Dane Cook video came up, and it was about how his brother stole millions of dollars from him. I was like, huh, that sucks. Look at Dre in the minors last year. Especially the lefties. Nothing. 261 average. There's no sample. That looks like his major league numbers, if I'm being honest. Keller hasn't got lit up in his 3 starts. So results aren't everything. XFIP is like manageable, but it is still 4.4 plus in 2 of the 3 outings. So a little bit on the lucky side, but also like not that unlucky or that lucky. In the year prior, 25.1 innings against lefties, 269 average, had 26 strikeouts, over a strikeout per inning, 10 walks. Is that right? Yep, 10 walks. That's not what you want. And then 3 homers. So that's about what we're seeing here. Whatever. You got it, Jay. You got it. So I'd be okay with whatever you guys decide on Dre. Ooh, down here. Down in a hole. I think the pitch count is the concern, right? Like, even if I just use all those numbers to sell me on him, his first outing was his highest pitch count. So they got a quick hook on him or what? Or is he just not intended to be a starter? All right. Me personally, I respect the Cardinals. Pitch count scares me. I'm going to let that be the reason I don't get there. Jordan Montgomery on the bump here for the Cardinals. The D-backs kind of scrappy for strikeouts, right? Especially against lefties. Josh Rojas is the only guy that is super red against lefties in the last 2 years. A lot of 20% or lesser. So Monty doesn't have like insane strikeout numbers either. Last year, 19.5% K rate to righties. Has degraded from a 1-4 K rate. I mean, we could see if he's trending in the right direction, but I do think this could be a tapered expectation upside spot when it comes to strikeouts. And what is the field thinking on Mr. Monty? 8.89%. That's probably appropriate. So just think everything about Montgomery in that spot is right. Let's go to discipline. What up, butthole? Dong pick today is Shohei Ohtani. He's just gonna homer. I'm sorry. First inning, off of Clark. It's not gonna. It's good. Oh, oof. What up, Pinstripe? Here. First night with the optimizer was all right. Accidentally locked in a stack without realizing it. Yeah. You're not gonna want to do that. Was it one of the core stacks or one of the stacks that went off? A lot of teams went off yesterday, so it could have been a happy little accident. What a happy little bush right over here. 8.7% swing strike rate for Monty so far, so nothing to shake a stick at. What a weird phrase that is, right? 3.67 on the xFIP, that's really good. Ground ball rate's about 51%, so like get me 7 innings. I think he's more of a Fanduel play for me if I wanted to be there, just because those numbers are likely to eat some more innings. It's okay to pitch to contact and still have an ability, but that for me, I value that more on Fanduel to get that quality start. And the quality starts his middle name. Last 2 games, 6.1 is 7 innings pitched, got up to 100 pitches. So I think he's a Fanduel click for me. DK, I'm a little off put. And then stack wise, I think we sub stack if we're here. Man, the D-backs do have some fun names against lefties though. But like Ketel Marte, Lourdes Gurriel, Alongo Dongo, Christian Walker. I'll probably substack though, just based on the park and what else is on the table. Yeah, that's how I play that. Let me skip that. Colorado, I added some. Oh man, who'd have thought Colorado would have been like the worst stack on the slate? But that's baseball. Where we at on subs? So we are at 8634 on the sub count. Can we get 8640 today? That'd be cool. If you're out there lurking, you have to subscribe to the channel. Hit that sub button. And while you're there, while you're looking, double check, make sure you are. Hit that thumbs up, man. Helps out. Snell's been struggling, yeah. Kerry Carpenter, walk-off dong. Carry on, my wayward son. Next game on the docket, Blue Jays, Astros. We got lineups. George Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Dalton Varsho, Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. Alejandro Kirk, Brandon Belt, Whit Merrifield, and Santiago Espino. No Kiermaier, eh? Mauricio Dubon, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, Kyle Tucker, Jeremy Pena, Corey Jolks, Jake Myers, and Martin Maldonado as projected. Implied run total for the Blue Jays 4.6, 4.7 on the Astros. Chris Bassett, Hound taking on Jose Urquidy. Yeah, a lot of unstoppable force, immovable objects, right? We saw the Astros pop off yesterday and what felt like an unlikely pop-off spot against Gossman. Today against Chris Bassett, Bassett coming into the season was an extreme ground ball pitcher, particularly against righties. Today he's going to face two lefties, Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez. And those are two scary lefties. Last year, over $1.25 on the home run per nine, two lefties. So we're certainly looking at them. Alvarez has over 4 in the bomb rating. And then Urquidy, a 4.5 expected ERA last season, a sub 20% K rate. So we will see if the Blue Jays are looking for revenge. Let's see what Bassett's done so far this season. Make sure everything's on the up and up. You know, a little checkup. Turn your head and cough before you click. Chris Bassett. Only Astro stack accidentally started Gossman. What? How did that even happen, Travis? 7.6% swing and strike rate for Bassett so far. Batted ball data. Wow, the ground ball is really diminished. What is that about? 50% fly ball rate. That's not normal. Hard contact rate. Dude, his batted ball game to game was all over the place. How do you let the Tigers have it a 70% fly ball rate? What? What did we say XFIP was? 6 XFIP? Dude, what is up with Bassett? What's happening? 91.6 on the fastball. Cutter, curveball. Lost a mile on the fastball. That's very interesting. Just Bassett. Like if you show me his stats this year without his name attached, I would never guess that that was Chris Bassett. Expected slug on his curveball is 872. Cutter's 1 dot OPS. Jesus. 1 dot slug. Last year it was 222. Why is it so different with freight? With freight it's not too far different. What's the Devontae Graham connection? It was for the basketball shows. I don't know. I don't have any baseball. I guess I do have a classmate that plays in the league, but y'all wouldn't know him. You hand build and wait, you hand build and you made that mistake? That's tough. Nah, it's okay, Travis. It happens. Can play both sides. Is this like the most scumdacker? Nah, because I don't want to play. I don't want to play Urquidy probably. So maybe it's a 3-corner spot. But Bassett's got to. He's got to fix this, right? Like this is not. Was he fly balling it in preseason? Bassett spring training? Like, why is he like? Where's the ground balls at? That's kind of his thing. You know, he was like a better Stroman, and now he's not. Now Stroman's a better Bassett. 4 O's, 3 Nats, and Ohtani 1 off. Yeah, we can get down with that. So let's go spring. Or let's just not. Yeah, there we go. Just getting a hat trick for the Rangers tonight. I don't think I can name a Ranger. I used to low-key follow the Rangers, but different days. So even in spring, wait, I don't understand. How does this equal 1.130 when every game is under 1? 0.38 ground out to air out. 0.85 ground out to air out. All right. Well, Bassett's not who I think he is, apparently. All right. So I'll stack. I'll go with both stacks. I think I'm gonna stay away from both pitchers. Right? Bassett's not missing bats, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna not. We'll wait for results, but I'll just take offenses here. And then yesterday we were able to get both offenses pretty low owned. I wonder if it's gonna be the same today. What up, Hunter? Here. Maple Leafs getting smoked tonight. All I know is Scott Foster is the crew chief in the Suns game, and my boy Russell Westbrook is out here. Blue Jays and Astros. Yeah, relatively untouched by the field. So this is what we saw yesterday. No one's going to the pitchers. No one's going to the offenses, right? Phil's not making a decision. These are 2 premium offenses to not make a decision on, especially if Bassett's not where he needs to be. So I'll happily be there at 10%. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Big upside. Looking for some alternatives from Coors ownership-wise. We haven't really added much to the pitching. What's I end up with like 30% Brad Keller after that lead up? Your dog's taking him yard. I can get down with that. Let's move on to the next game. Coors Field. I don't have a lineup yet, but we have Jose Urena against Vincent Velasquez. 6.7 run total for the Pirates. 6.7 run total for the Rockies. This game is projected to put up runs like we saw last night. Velasquez coming off a really good results start against the Cardinals. I didn't look at the particulars yet. We'll take a look now. 6 Ks against the Cardinals. 11 fly balls to 1 ground ball. That dog might not hunt here in Coors. So I don't want to spend too much time. It's Coors. They got massive totals. We're probably not playing either pitcher. But I am curious to see what the heck happened. It looks like he just got a little bit lucky with the fly balls, but let me see if there's hard contact attached to it and if there's like Busch Stadium that was on his side. And that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to give a bunch of homers in Coors. Remember, Coors is the largest outfield in baseball, but I'm just curious. 12.4% swinging strike rate, almost 18% against St. Louis. So he was like earning those whiffs. The 6.26 xFIP, 5.76 in that game. Yeah, that's not what you want. 11% barrel rate. Some guys are just shoehorning rabbit feet where the sun don't shine, right? You look at we looked at Eovaldi's game, and he had like the most unlucky game of all time. And you see Velasquez must have made a deal with the devil, a 19% barrel rate with this. Oh, that's great. This is bad, but 188 BABIP. You just can't. But that's okay. It's okay. Anyway, so not ready to buy into Velasquez. I will give him credit for the swing and miss. The swing and strike rate stuff is there. It has been there, though. It's not like that's ever really, truly diminished. It's Coors Field. We're back on the Pirates. We're back on the Rockies. Theoretically, the decision whether or not to be there ownership-wise, I think we're going to play this a lot like I played it last night. First of all, at these ownerships, and again, shame on especially DraftKings, but shame on the sites for making it a little too easy to get there. Brian Reynolds is 5.8. He's probably going to be 5.8 anywhere because he's crushing it. I'll give him credit. Cuts to being 5K. Rest of this lineup, it doesn't matter because they're cheap. Same with the Rockies. Not getting Coors tax, and the Fanduel's not doing much better with it either. And naturally, that's creating elevated ownerships for Jesus. There we go. For the Coors. So, looking at the top owned players, you got to go pretty far before you get to Aaron Judge on the Yankees. There's a lot of Coors Field here, 30%, 20%. So, like we talked yesterday with Rich Hill, and the same game, same scenario. The field's going to be here this dramatically. I will say today we don't have to worry about 60% pitchers handcuffed to this, so you can start the uniqueness a little bit more. But just like yesterday, I think what I do is I'm not going to not be there, but I still want to be unique. And this is what worked for me yesterday. Essentially, I used the combo limit tool in Fantasy Cruncher, and I made sure that I didn't have any full stacks of the game. Pirates and Rockies, right? So all my full Pirate stacks were using 10% or less owned stacks, and inversely, and that's what worked out. And I'll probably do the same thing just in the name of ownership. I do think there's a very high probability pre-flop that these teams, have a good chance of being optimal. I'm talking 20, 30%. But 11-game slate, man. I'm going to give some ownership back to the field and find a couple ways to zig when the field zags. And I think that's how I do it. I don't double down. Oh, I also did no full 4 stacks. I did only 3-man stacks, and they didn't touch for Coors specifically. You don't have to do it like that. You could just find a way to be unique. If you can't full fade it, find a way to be unique to separate yourself from the field a little bit. Like I said, yesterday was a little bit harder because on DraftKings it was just like DeGrom, Burns, and that was like a cumulative 90% ownership there with the 30+% owned Coors bats. At least today pitching's a little bit more wide open, a little bit. So it gives you a little bit of a head start from last night. But again, just kind of explore ways of how you want to shuffle this deck of cards when it comes to not absorbing too much of the chalk, Let's get caught up on chat. Lefties against Vince, but who? Bomb Detector likes CJ Crone, Chris Bryant. Oh, where's Sean? Sean was all against Chris Bryant because he hasn't homered in Coors Field in over 2,000 days. He shut that down real quick, didn't he? Brian Reynolds is up there. Jack Swinski's always up there. Good spot. Urania. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. Rockies are the better side. Vinny V could walk the first 8 batters. That's true. That's true. Hey, Urania has a 12% walk rate last year against lefties. And it gets to a lot of lefties pretty quickly, right? There's only 3 lefties or 3 righties in this lineup, so wouldn't get stuck on one side specifically. It should just be wide open. Bryant back is finally better. Yeah, good for him. He's healthy. Chris Bryant is what you want, especially if you're the Rockies. All right, where are we at? 325. We're vibing. We're vibing. How many games we got left? 3, 4. All right. Chat, if you guys want to throw this spreadsheet into your repertoire of tools to use, you can do so by going to rundfs.com. Click VIP memberships. Find a membership right for you. There's week passes, 2-week pass, month pass, MLB season pass, and the rest of the year pass. Every subscription comes with a voucher, a credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, and yeah. And the baseball one, that's going to be good until the end of baseball season, which gives you September. Gives you like a month and change on football as well. We also do NASCAR coverage as well. So I know it says MLB, but it's all things VIP. And then what that'll do is it'll get you the spreadsheets. It'll get you the Fantasy Cruncher voucher. And then when you click VIP portal, you get the link to the rundfs.com VIP Discord. And before lock, I am in the voice chat, chilling out, making some lineups. Sometimes we hang out and I'll screen share the games. The last 2 nights, when the slates are dead, we grind MLB The Show, and I streamed The Hangover 1 and 2 the last couple nights. So little movie night too. Let's see, I have an alert. Oh, you know what? That's Peraza. Alright, we'll fix that. I gotta fix the Yankee lineup. Lucked out. I got Bryant as my prize for So Rare for the previous slate, and right now I'm looking at limited tier 4 because I have them. Semien and Freeman. I have no idea what that means. So Rare. Is that like Top Shot but baseball? If so, I want to check that out. That would be cool. All right, Brewers and the Mariners. We got Colin Ray taking on Logan Gilbert. So Colin Ray had a very usable start for the Brewers against the Padres. He had 6 strikeouts, 5.2 innings, 83 pitches in that game. So let's look at those metrics, and then let's look at if we want to use them tonight. Against the Mariners. 7.2% swinging strike rate, less than a 50% first pitch strike. A little bit on the lucky side. 3.42 xFIP. That's not terrible. Statcast, 1 barrel, 42% hard hit rate. And a 50% ground ball rate, with a 17% infield fly ball rate on that 50% fly ball rate. All right, cool. And then let's pull up Mr. Ray's minor league numbers. Big fan of Terry McBride. Do you ever have him on? Terry is the best baseball mind in the world. But he doesn't. He works for Stochastic. I'm like a contractor, so I don't know if I'm allowed to have people on. But I love Terry. That would be awesome. Hopefully me and him can do a show soon. Alright, let's go to 2020. Oh, we don't have 2022. What happened? Was he just hurt all last year? Tommy John, maybe? What do you call it? What do you consider a team with power? That's kind of a tough question. I guess you would look at the team ISO, and if it's over 180, if you got 3 or 4 guys with a 200 plus ISO, that's a good start. That's what I would do. You just kind of know. He's back from Japan? Okay. All right, well, I don't want to look at Japan numbers. We tweeted live. Terry did? That's awesome. Yeah, no. Terry's the best. Literally. You ever seen that movie? What was that movie? Was it Hall Pass? When they're in the bar, and they had that guy was like looking at these chicks, and then he's like, looks, and then he did this, and the girl became beautiful, blah blah blah, and he goes, "You're like a beautiful mind." That's me when I listen to Terry talk baseball. He's so smart. Cubs can play again tonight. Yeah, the Athletics pitching is very, very bad. All right, so I guess I wouldn't really have a conviction behind the decision on Colin Ray here. Mariners have a couple of strikeouts in this lane right here. Eugenio, Cal Raleigh, Teo, and Jared Kelenic, but these are 3 very powerful bats, and Kelenic's been crushing it. So I probably leave him out of my short list here. If you had that feeling your bad knee and pitching's pretty shallow, go for it. Mariners, I love that team stack day to day because they are another kind of well-rounded stack, so I'm there. And then Logan Gilbert, really good. So let's put the Mariners here. Gilbert, we just have to play because we're 3 games left in this slate. We don't have a lot of pitchers in the pool. Gilbert's top 3 in average projection. I guess he's the highest owned pitcher though, but I get it. He's been so good. Yeah, I agree with that, Hunter. Actually, so Terry does write articles that are free, and I usually I could retweet those. He's crazy to write so much every day. I wish I could, but you guys should absolutely be checking out those articles. 11.5% swing and strike rate for Gilbert to start the season. 52% first pitch strike. So those 2 numbers are actually a little bit lower than I expected to see. But a 298 xFIP, that is just incredible. Batted ball, 53.5% ground ball rate. Very low fly ball rate, and half of those are infield flies. 53% pull rate. Yeah, these are just incredible numbers if he keeps that up. Looking at last year, some of those numbers are extremely improved on what we know. So we might leave the door open still for some regression, like this 50% ground ball rate. It was less than 40% to both sides of the plate last year. So I guess when this happens, we want to see if we can find out if there's a why or if it's a coincidence, right? 2 games against Cleveland and 1 game against Chicago. Are these just ground ball hitters that might be fluffing up the results, or is he doing something different? So we'll start with pitch type: fastball, slider, curveball. Last year, fastball, slider. Did I say cutter or no? No, just curveball. And then we'll look at the Baseball Savant on the pitchers. Maybe he's added a sinker, because someone was registering as SF. I would say I love Fangraphs to death, but their individual pitch trackage is very bad. So if you guys, and it's unfortunate because Baseball Savant doesn't really have a convenient way to export this type of information, so I still kind of have to use it as a baseline. But whenever I see stuff like this, I have to go to, or I prefer to go to Baseball Savant to kind of isolate the pitch results and actually the pitch types, because sometimes there's 2-seamers, 4-seamers, sinkers, splitters. Like, all those pitches will come up something different sometimes on Fangraphs, and Baseball Savant does a little bit better of a job of tracking that, right? So looking at the expected results. All of the expected sluggings really good. The expected WOBA is solid. 321 on the slider. Only pitched with any type of elevated number. Looking at last year, he had a much higher expected WOBA on the fastball and a much higher expected WOBA on the slug, and a little bit higher on the expected average. The hard hit rate's still high on the fastball. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on that. Could be a 3-game coincidence. Could not. Doesn't look like he's really changed pitch mix. So we'll see. Nonetheless, though, Logan Gilbert, 8,500. Based on what we've researched already, he flies to the top of usable pitchers. So we're going to start him as a high tier 2. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about that. I don't really have a conviction on Colin Ray. So if you like playing him, play him. If not, don't, you know. So smart. Yeah, he's insane. Bro, there was a stretch where me and Terry were like doing shows every day. And I was just like, I know Stochastic has like, they got to fill so many orders for like NBA, whatever, stuff like that. Bro, if they just let me and Terry just hit the live switch, me and him go at it every day for baseball, bro, it would just be gold, I think. Korea or Japan for rate, yeah. Either way, Korea definitely doesn't size up well to the majors. Japan as well. So like a lot of like Dan Straley, it was like a bad fifth man in America, and then he goes over there and he's like Cy Young. You know what I mean? So I don't like to look at the numbers from overseas to make major league decisions because it's really not that transferable. And same with the hitters, right? Eric Dames, Barry Bonds over there, and he comes over here. It's just not, you know. What up, Mighty Saint? Hope you're doing all right. All right, next game, Athletics hosting the Cubs. Marcus Stroman taking on Ken Waldichuk. Cubs went bananas, Bananas last night. 4.7 implied run total tonight, 3.5 on the Athletics. 50 degrees out there. Waldichuk is beatable. The Cubs have certainly been hitting pretty well, and this projected incarnation of the Cubs lineup really powerful against lefties. Hold me closer, Johnny Dansby. Almost a 200 ISO against lefties last couple years. Seiya Suzuki, Trey Mancini 180 plus ISO. Patrick Wisdom. I've considered renaming the bomb detector the Wisdom detector the last couple years. This year, Pete Alonso's like, hold up, hold up, I'm here. Yan Gomes even. So yeah, it's another really fun spot for the Cubbies against Ken Waldichuk, who came into the season with a problem of getting righties out. It was really good against lefties, but only one projected lefty, and that's Cody Bellinger. So we can hyper-focus on that 4.4 xFIP last year to righties, 275 average allowed to righties, 1.75 home run per 9 to righties, and a 46% fly ball and just a 31% ground ball rate, with over a 20% line drive rate to righties last year. And speeding. And so far this season, Ken Waldichuk, I don't believe, has made any difference. I literally typed Ken Waldick, and it still like said, you mean Ken Griffey? Did y'all see that? It's like, you can't possibly care about if you just type Ken Waldy. How much can I'm 2 letters away from typing Waldichuk, and it's still like, you sure? Let me go H. Yeah, there we go. All right. It's like, you sure you want to look at that? Because here's Ken Griffey, 8.8% swing and strike rate, almost a 60% first pitch strike. We've got a 5.68 overall xFIP, not what you want. 42% pull rate, that's pretty elevated. Ground ball rate still sub 40%. Line drive rate still over 20%. Fly ball rate is at 40%. Let's put that up against righties and see if we can't still sink our teeth into some hard hit balls against righties. Fly ball rate to righties, 42%. No infield flies. A 46% pull rate. 25. The hard contact's fine. But I love the pull rate. I love the fly ball rate. We're gonna have to play some Cubbies. I wonder if eyes are on the Cubbies after last night, and then You're starting to realize the Athletics suck, especially with pitching. And I mentioned at the top of the show, we saw the Mets drop a couple touchdowns the other day. And now for the Cubs, yeah, right? Mendoza line of, do they? Oh my God, no ownership here. Yeah, I'm back to the Cubs easily. Not really there on the Athletics. Marcus Stroman, yeah, we're gonna have to play him, and I hate playing him because that's my mortal enemy. He added, what did he add? A sweeper? He added I believe it's a sweeper or slider that has turned him into a little bit of a more of a strikeout guy than yesteryear. Well, we'll get to the bottom of this. Even Belly seeing the ball well, 30. Yeah. Usually, like towards the end of a season, I always like lean on an edge of picking on a certain bullpen. This one's starting really early, and it's the Athletics. It's crazy that it's this park, but 11.1% swinging strike rate for Stroman through 3 games. Highest swinging strike rate was in that first game. 3.04 xFIP overall. Still having an incredible ground ball rate. So what I'm interested in is if we can keep this 60 to 70% ground ball rate and then add in some strikeouts if we have to. He becomes a much better pitcher for fantasy. So fastball, slider, cutter, changeup. I believe the slider's new. Maybe I'm wrong. He's doing something? Maybe it's this cutter, changeup. Let me go to Savant. He's doing something. Maybe it's the sweeper instead of I don't know. He's doing something new this year that I saw after the first game. Slurve. That's what it is. So this is another example of Fangraphs. They bunch together some pitch types, right? Where I'm assuming Fangraphs is just considering the Slurve a slider, and it's kind of not the case. So that's why we got a little bit. Baseball Savant. If you guys know of a site that like makes this information exportable much more conveniently, that'd be great for some spreadsheet development. But in the meantime, gotta do it this way. So his Slurve has a 41% whiff rate. That's crazy. 28.59 spin. Last year, the Slurve was at 26.73. So he literally found like almost 200 RPMs on the Slurve. And that's missing some more bats. Slider, the same thing, right? 20.33. Last year, 26.92. So slider's been the main difference, and he's missing more bats. So Marcus Stroman is borderline tier 1 from what we've seen so far. I'm going to bunch him in there with Mr. Gilbert. But unfortunately, we're going to have to play some Marcus Stroman. And I'm in a tough spot here, chat. I'll show you why. Want to see something, chat? Look at this. You guys might not know. Some of you guys do. Some of you guys don't. This is Marcus Stroman's Twitter account. I'm logged into my Twitter. We don't get along, me and Mr. Stroman. But tonight I have to play him. So I'll forgive him for blocking me. Waldachuk has given up 7 homers already. Yeah, that's not what you want. Great pivot from Gilbert. I don't know if it's a pivot, though. Because I think they're both high owned. I don't know. Yeah. 10%. What about Fanduel? I have 2 major leaguers that have blocked me on Twitter. One of them is Marcus Stroman. The other's Trevor Bauer. And this is before Bauer was in controversy. On Fanduel. What did I say? What was it? This is years ago. I mean, years ago. I think he was on the Blue Jays. I don't even know what I said. It had something to do with the Bautista fight. When Bautista and Rugi got into it. And then Trevor Bauer blocked me. And in retrospect, I wish I didn't, but I didn't know much about Twitter at the time. I put up a poll. It was Trevor Bauer pitching against the Braves. And I was like, I listed 4 Braves. I was like, which one of these Braves is gonna homer off of Trevor Bauer tonight? And I said my vote is for, I want to say Tyler Flowers, or is that a name? Tyler Flowers. I want to say Tyler Flowers, the catcher. And I was like, my vote is for Tyler Flowers. Well, he gave up a homer to Tyler Flowers. Is it Tyler Flowers, or am I making that name up? And then after the game, I guess he goes to Twitter and he like looks up his name, and he sees that I did it. Yeah, it was Tyler Flowers. So he blocked me for that. I wasn't even talking trash. I was just like, my bomb. That was the baby steps of the bomb detector. Was like Tyler Flowers is gonna homer off of Trevor Bauer, and he gave one off. So, whoops. But I guess I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. I'm a lot tame. I'm more tame. I don't like to rock the boat. What up, Shark? What up, Anthony? And then later I started but I started respecting what Bauer was doing off the field. So I tweeted at him from another account, and I was like, hey man, you blocked me, blah, blah, blah. I think we got it all wrong. So then he blocks that account. He's like, no, I don't got it wrong. I really, dude? Really? Anyway, Gilbert versus Stroman. So Stroman looks like an incredible play on FanDuel, actually. If this is right, 2%, that's ridiculous. On DK, they're a little bit closer. Everyone's on Blake Snell. That dummy, how could that go wrong? Like Bauer, but he doesn't seem to take any sort of criticism or outside talk about him well because of what he went through in college when he went first. Yeah, I mean, he's an eccentric personality for sure. I don't, me, I'm laid back. I definitely think he maybe got the wrong impression. Maybe I shouldn't have phrased stuff like that on Twitter. I don't know. But it's Twitter. So now you're kind of a snowflake. But knowing what we know now, what are you going to do? And then both Stroman and Bauer at one point were loosely rumored to be free agents the Yankees were interested in. And then I was like, fudge. That's going to be awkward. Ron Stroman. All right, let's move on. Braves and the Padres. Dude, you're telling me Blake Snell against the Braves is the highest owned pitcher on FanDuel? Excuse me? Let me go back to that. That can't be. Like, what? Did I see that wrong? Maybe I'm just stupid. Let's go. Columns, quick views. Gun 23. Highest owned pitchers. What? I don't. So usually the highest owned pitcher means the other team's the lowest owned stack. You're kidding me. Acuna, Olsen, Riley, Murphy, Albies, Grissom, bruh. I mean, this is ridiculous. Let me look at something. Let's go active rosters since the beginning of last year. Submit. Oh, fudge. We should have done the split first against lefties. I don't know if I agree with this ownership, but I hope it's right. Let's go advanced. WRC plus. Atlanta, since the beginning of last year, as a team, the 4th highest WRC plus against lefties. .23% K rate. They still strike out. 27 stolen bases. Where's that at? That is 5th. OPS, on base plus slugging, is number 2. 176 ISO. It's a little bit lower. 6. This is what the highest owned pitcher on the slate's going against for Fanduel. Is that real? Blake Snell to start the season has not touched the 6th inning. So he hasn't literally, and on Fanduel, the quality start is so important. This is the highest owned pitcher on Fanduel? I hope that's true. It doesn't seem like it should be true. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna hold. Braves, Acuna, Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Sean Murphy, Ozzie Albies, Vaughn Grisham, Kevin Pillar, Marcelo Zuna, Eli White. Don't have a Padres lineup. Sounds either going to K a bunch or get smashed. That's just 2 outcomes. Yeah. Well, if that ownership is even close to being true on FanDuel, Braves are looking like it's just the best leverage stack of all time. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So at that ownership, I wouldn't be that interested in Blake Snell on FanDuel. I'm really not. Like, he struggles getting in through 6 anyway. On DK, it could be a different story, though. On DK, it's still 1-4. Stroman went up a little bit. I don't think... No, Stroman was that one. I just let the... on the slate where if I want to get the cores, I got to give up some ownership somewhere. Blake Snell is where it is. You can have Blake Snell. If it happens, Blake Snell's the homie. I love him. Not tonight. Not tonight. Spencer Strider, really good. 38% K rate last year. 15.5% swing and strike rate in that campaign. Let's see what he's done this year. It can be both. It could be both. It could be. You could just straight up have a Chris Sale start, right? Chris Sale's been getting strikeouts and getting shelled at the same time. It's incredible. 18.6% swing and strike rate so far for Spencer Strider. Very respectable, 65% first pitch strike. Batted ball, 304 xFIP. This is really good. I'd rather play that than Blake Snell. And then I still got respect for the Padres, though. But, yeah, he's really good. Last game against the Padres, 19 fantasy points. Maybe a little bit of a scumdacker spot. If Snell's ownership aside, this is certainly a 4 corners range of outcomes play, I think. And I think for me, it's relative to ownership, what I'll have versus what the field will have. Strider, Braves, Padres, Snell is how that would go. Like maybe Braves above Strider, but you don't have to be. Braves are not touched, so 10% Braves. If you're above the field, I'd be yeah, okay. Over 100 cats hanging out. 50 likes, though. Can we get to 70? And then we started at 86.34. We don't have any new subs, man. It's starting. Baseball's Baseball starting to baseball. People are bored. It's okay. All right, last game on the docket. After this, we'll go sweep some updated lineups. And then if you guys got anything you want to look at, questions, comments, concerns, we'll do that. But we got the Mets taking on the Dodgers. Tyler Megill taking on Clayton Kershaw out there in Dodger Stadium. No confirmed lineups for either. 3.9 run total for the Mets, 4.8 for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is good. Tough matchup for him, though. Giving a little credence, a little respect to the Mets. So, certainly feels like at least three-sided. I don't think I'll get to any Megill, but we'll see. So far this season for Clayton Kershaw, he is rocking at almost a 13% swing strike rate, 64% first pitch strike. I want that a little bit higher, but it's fine. 52% ground ball rate, 3.59 expected, xFIP. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. It's very usable. Relative to ownership on DraftKings, 15% owned, so 10% less than Blake Snell. I mean, I'd just rather have Kershaw than Blake Snell here. And I'm not like in love with Kershaw, but Blake Snell is, in my opinion, and Blake Snell's probably gonna go pitch a gym. But based on those numbers, I feel like Blake Snell is like the most overvalued play on this slate right now. I'm not seeing it. So yeah, if you get to some Kershaw, you get to some Kershaw. We'll put Kershaw in the back pocket here. And also, I didn't put Strider here, so we'll go Strider. We'll go Clayton Kershaw. We still got Mr. Keller down there. And then we'll get to some Mets, some Dodgers. I might try and tidy this up. I think I'm going to add... I think I'm going to fix this. Let's do this. So you guys that are subscribed to the VIP. So this was a different tab. So let's make this full stack Substack. Even though some full stacks still get Substack. But like there are some teams I want access to, but I don't want to be 5 deep. And I'll fix that later. Basically, it'll make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, where I'm not listing half the slate. You know what I mean? So I'll work on tightening it up for the RunDFS.com VIP subscribers. Tristratus is back, man. And I tell you what, I don't watch Raw that much. I watched Raw last night. That promo was hard to watch, man. It was like 3 minutes too long, maybe even longer than that. Tyler Megill, $1.25 on the whip, 4.3 expected ERA. Strikes out righties way more than he strikes out lefties. Dodgers will usually offer a pretty balanced lineup, so I'm not really too enamored with Megill here. I mean, if he pitches great, good for him. But I still respect the Dodgers. And Max Muncy is not a human. He's a cyborg robot sent here from Baseballandia, which is in a galaxy far, far away. 10% swinging strike rate for Megill overall. Batted ball, 4.8 xFIP with a 43% ground ball rate. And then looking at some splits. Basically, I'm going to look back at those lefty splits because that was the issue. 5.1 innings against lefties, has allowed 1 bomb, a 333 average allowed. About a strikeout per. Let's look at the batted ball data. Still a high fly ball rate. No infield fly. 12.5% home run to fly ball rate. Cool. The pull rate's not that high. Neither is the hard contact rate, to be honest. But it's only 6 innings, so whatever. All right, let's go type in a couple of updated lineups. If you guys got anything you want to look at, throw it in chat. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I think tomorrow, the last 2 weeks have been kind of the same thing. When they get these wonky day slates, I just don't know how to serve content to it. And still, make it worthwhile, right? Like, sometimes if I'll stream early on a Saturday or Sunday, you guys are there. We did like an early stream, was it last Monday maybe? Something like that, and there was like 40 viewers. I was like, I don't know if people are really up right now. So tomorrow there's a early slate. Looks like it'll probably start with this Marlins game. Probably. Tigers, Cardinals. So it could be 2, 4, 6. It could just be a super main slate early. So I guess it's a little bit different. So I'll look at the schedules and see if there's a need for content. I don't think there will be. So we'll say that that's a maybe to have a stream tomorrow. And then on Thursday, likely no stream. Probably. Unless this Pirates game catches the main slate. Which it might. They've been throwing these 540s. What's another 5 minutes? If this catches the main slate, then I think we could stream for that. Even though the Yankees would be out. You guys are just going to hear me sweating the Yankees game. And then Friday, we're back in the saddle for the main. All right. So maybe not on an early stream tomorrow. I'll see if the homies are streaming in the morning. If they are, then I won't. There's no need for me. But if they're not, maybe I'll get up and do something. All right, Nats lineup. Lane Thomas is leading off. Dom Smith, Joey Meneses, Jamer Candelario, Luis Garcia, Kybert Ruiz, Stone Garrett. One of the coolest names out there. Stone. It's just like an underrated name. I'll start using that, you know? Red Sox lineup is out. Oh, you know, I got to fix the Yankees lineup. I guess I typed Oswaldo Cabrera. It's actually It's Oswald Peraza. Peraza. All right. Red Sox lineup. Almost said Jose Peraza. I remember him. I think he was on the Yankees. Alex Verdugo, Rafi Devers, Justin Turner, Masataka Yoshida, Enrique Kike Hernandez, Tristan Casas, Connor Wong. After the stream, I'm going to be in the Discord for a little bit. Might go try and walk for like a quick 15 minutes or get some blood flowing, maybe a little jog. And then I'll be over there until lock. And I don't know, we might sweat some games after lock, but I also just might put the game on my phone and get another workout in. It's been really nice weather, 70 degrees and cloudy. So it's not raining, but it's not hot and humid. So it's really good to get some workout in. Ezekiel Duran, Brad Miller, Sandy Leone. Man, that makes that Brad Keller play that much more intriguing, y'all. I think you guys have sold me. Sometimes I give you guys some good plays. Sometimes you guys give me some good plays. I'm hoping Brad Keller's you guys paying it back. Profar, Chris Bryant, Charlie Blackmon, CJ Crone, Ryan McMahon. Hello, I am Elias. Jonathan Daza, Alan Trejo, and Ezekiel. So, Elias and Ezekiel. Bottom half of the Lou. And that's it, right? Nothing else came out. Cool. All right, what you guys got? How is your MLB props going? I need to get more into it. Does anybody have a site that is free to look at universal odds? I went to go look for baseball on OddsShopper, and it's all behind the paywall. And I don't actually have Sportsbook to make it to you know what I mean. So if there's like a site that will just display all the different books lines for some props, and you guys know about it, let me know. I look at it today. The PrizePicks and No House a little bit more selective than I wish they were. But I do think I like today's slate for a couple of props. I know I was looking at the Shohei fantasy point prop earlier because I'm just Shohei's gonna homer first at bat off of Clark Schmidt. It's gonna be annoying, so I do like that. And then what do they price Brad Keller at? You guys are starting to push me in. Oh man, Stroman's at 37.5. I like that. All right, I might drop some props in the Discord. And then do we have? Stroman. Oh, they don't have a Keller prop? Keller and Eovaldi, nerfy. I kind of like that. I remember I still like Eovaldi quite a bit from his extremely unlucky first game. So I might take the nerfy there. Yeah, I might dance around with it, play with it. Aren't Wednesday and Thursday mostly all day now? Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I swear it's not always like that. Maybe it changes. Favorite sneaky stack and pitcher? Apparently the Braves. The Braves just keep on braving. And favorite sneaky pitcher? I think Eovaldi. If you guys missed that breakdown, Eovaldi against this team had one of the most unlucky combination of advanced metrics you could ask for. And the results were so bad. But I think in this park against this team, I don't love that they just seen him, but look at what he worked a 19.6% swing and strike rate, 72% first pitch strike. He had a 1.5 xFIP. Those two numbers, you would think he would have had not a no with that xFIP, but you thought he would have went crazy. And then you look at the advanced, he had a 529 BABIP, 46.5% LOB. It was just so unlucky. So I like Eovaldi, and relative to ownership, Eovaldi's at sub 10%. So I do like that. And then if Blake Snell is going to be 1-4 owned on DK and the highest owned on Fanduel, the Brave stack is incredible. They killed. It's good. It's a good team. Prize pick lines are sharper. Yeah, the prize picks are sharper. No house is sharper. It is what it is. MLB wants teams to get to next city earlier. I mean, it didn't feel like there's a lot less games. It just feels like, I see what you're saying. They get it done early on Tuesday. They travel Wednesday. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, Pitter. I think my 3 favorite stacks are Yanks, Nats, and Cubs. I like that. I think the Angels are probably going to get to Clark Smith, y'all. Want to go back to the Cubs today. Just hope they're not chalk. What up, Catalza? It doesn't look like they're projected to be chalk. Snell will not be high owned. Yeah, I mean, hopefully the ownership's right. But if it is, wow. That's crazy. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day, as always. Twitter.com/Gundecker. I'll probably throw out the bomb detector in a little bit. Another hour and a half, possibly. You guys are the best. All I ask for you, 3 things when you leave. Hit that thumbs up, hit that sub button, and tell somebody out there in your life that you love them, because you never know. You never know. I love you guys. I'll catch you in the next stream. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.